Coming up on this weekend's edition of the Met Report. Can our basketball team win the South Central Regional Championship?
We are now halfway through the snowiest month. See how it affects tourism.
See why parking is limited all throughout the campus. All this and more on the Met Report.
Welcome to the Met Report. I'm Cinthia Maldonado.
And I'm Chris Gibson. The economy is the biggest topic on students' minds here at Metro. A recent survey asked students what they are concerned about in today's society. Economy ranked number 1 with 41%. Education ranked distant second with 27%. Other issues such as gun control, climate change, same-sex marriage, and marijuana reform all ranked 10% or lower. Immigration did not even make the list.
The construction on the new parking garage has left some struggles to find open spaces. Met Report's Stephen Cox shed some light on recent developments.
Parking has become a bit of a concern for many of the students here at Metro, but with parking prices on the rise and new light rail regulations, students have more than just midterms to worry about. Let's see what some of our fellow roadrunners have to say on this issue.
I come on campus four times a week. I pay roughly $6 a day, $24 a week that I'm paying for parking, and we drive around this lot like buzzards for parking spots.
Parking, in my experience, just seems to be kind of a pain. I mean, I'd rather usually ride my bike. I definitely encourage people to use other ways to get down here.
One of the main alternatives to driving down to campus is taking the light rail. Students are able to ride RTD free because the fees are already included in all Metro students' tuition. But there is a problem with the light rail system, and it's parking. Parking lots at large light rail stations like Mineral and Broadway tend to fill up early in the day, leaving many students with no choice but to drive down to campus. And with the new CCD Confluence building and Student Success building taking the place of large parking areas, parking at Metro appears to be dwindling. There is a new parking garage under construction that should ease congestion for a while, but many students just aren't able to afford parking at Metro anymore, or are just plain frustrated with their commute to campus.
Seems like it's getting harder and harder to park down here.
I might stick to the light rail.
For the Met Report, I'm Stephen Call.
Dr. Ann Steele, a professor at Metro, speaks at the United Nations in New York. Working in the departments of psychology and women's studies, she spoke during the 58th session of the Commission on the Status of Women. She addressed human trafficking. When presenting, Dr. Steele was part of the panel discussion titled, "It Takes a Village, Expanding Our Success in the Fight Against Human Trafficking."
Auraria students got a chance to experience Orange when actress Laverne Cox from the hit Netflix series Orange is the New Black spoke at the Tivoli Turn Hall. The actress spoke to students from Transgender Day of Visibility. She also talked about her personal experiences as a transgender woman. Cox is an innovative member of the transgender community. She also is the first transgender woman of color to have a leading role on a mainstream television show.
What I learned here today was I liked when he or she talked about emasculation of the black man. I like the fact that he, she, or she brought up that issue because that's so very important.
You can see Cox on the upcoming season of Orange is the New Black premiering June 6th.
Budget requests was the main topic President Jordan spoke about at St. Cajetan's Church recently. He informed faculty and students what to expect for the 2014-2015 academic year.
Earlier this week, President Stephen Jordan spoke to faculty and staff about the budget request process here in Metro. He mentioned the legislative process impacting the school's future. During the interview, he highlighted key performances by students in fields related to aerospace, business, and the basketball program.
I suspect a lot of you are attending here today because you want to know what's going on with the state budget and how it might apply to each of you and to the divisions that you all work in. And clearly, some of the legislation being debated in the Colorado General Assembly is key to our future in very significant ways. So I want to discuss this in a way While it is clear that the retention rates in our first year success program are higher than those students who don't participate, and I want to say that, but we have really good evidence right now that the first year success program, at the end of the first semester, at the end of the first year, and then now tracking those students who participated in first year success on out in the second, third year, and fourth year, their retention rates are running about anywhere from 8% in the first year to 6% in the second.
The presidents also talked about the retention rate here at Metro, letting staff and faculty know that needs to be as high as possible for Metro students. The event, which turned out to be pretty successful, was held in the St. Cajetan's Church here on campus. For the Met Report, I'm Yanni Gabru.
The Student Advisory Committee to the Auraria Board plans to survey students about a new smoking policy. The policy could range from designated smoking areas to an outright ban on cigarettes. A series of questions regarding the matter will be added to the annual RTD referendum, which is one of the most answered campus surveys. SACAV Representative Ariel DeGray provided us with comments on this issue.
We have had complaints, mostly from non-smokers, about the amount of smoke, and mostly it's when smokers are walking in front of people and blowing smoke behind. But I think that our job is not really to enforce anything. Our job is kind of to find out from the students what they want.
If the survey results in favor of a new smoking policy, SACAV will approach the Auraria Board about drafting a new policy.
Thursday marked the official start to the spring season. It also meant the end of stressful midterms. With midterms over and spring break right around the corner, we scoured around the campus to ask what students will be doing this spring break.
Spring break, I plan on spending time with my family, relaxing, getting organized, and coming back to school.
Since I'm only 18, I can't really go out, go drinking and partying and whatnot, so I really don't do much.
I like going to the baseball games, so I'm looking forward to the Rocky season coming up.
Visit the Met Report's Facebook page at facebook.com/The Met Report and let us know in the comments section how you will be spending this spring break.
MSU Denver Assistant Professor of Speech Mike Mansour will discuss feminine research in an open forum. Feminist First Day makes its debut on campus Friday, April 4th. The forum relates to everything feminine. Professor Mansour wants to illustrate the principles of conventional versus non-conventional friendships between men and women. Men and women are both welcome to attend.
High school juniors across the state will get the chance to experience college life here at Metro. The Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities Junior and High School Tour comes to campus May 5th through the 7th. This program, also known as HACU, involves more than 300 local high school juniors. It shows students' careers involving science, technology, engineering, and math. The HACU program also encourages students to get a higher education. You know, when I was a student, I was hoping there would be a program like that when I was around.
Definitely. My first day of college, not only did I go to the wrong building, I got on the wrong light rail.
Oh, gosh.
So definitely take advantage of this opportunity. And well, after the break, find out why Venezuela is being censored by their government.
And see how the new SAT rules apply to future MSU Denver students.
Coming up after the break, I'll tell you what weather to expect during spring break and the changes to come tonight.
And one of our spring teams is riding a 4-game winning streak. Find out who after the break.
The Met Report is brought to you today in part by Health Center at Auraria, a proud sponsor of the Healthy Pursuits program. Healthy Pursuits brings Zumba, belly dancing, Nia, Pilates, and yoga classes to Auraria for free as part of tuition and fees. Classes are offered Monday through Friday, and you can find the full schedule on the Wellness channel in ConnectU or on the Health Center website at tinyurl.com/healthypursuits. Also, real-time updates are on Twitter at BeWellAuraria, and news and events are on Facebook at Health Center at Auraria.
Welcome back. MSU Denver is ranked in the top 100 colleges and universities in the nation for enrolling Hispanic students. This Saturday, April 5th, there will be an open house from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Student Success Building. This opportunity allows new students and transfer students to speak with the MSU faculty about topics like majors, admissions, scholarships, student activities, and much more. At the end of the open house, there will be a tour around campus. There is no RSVP required, and parking is provided.
No economist will dispute the fact that the feds have dramatically increased the amount of money in circulation. There is 3 times as much money printed today than in 2009. Economists do, however, have different theories on how our economy will be affected. Economics 101 says that more money chasing the same amount of goods will cause abnormal inflation. So does the distinguished professor Alan Meltzer. But other respectable experts think that inflation will remain steady at 2% per year.
I think that there are reasons one might expect inflation, reasonable reasons even, but I think that most people aren't expecting significant inflation in excess of 2%.
Graduation is coming and MSU Denver is looking for faculty assistants to create a memorable experience. Participants will receive a $50 gift card for their time. The spring 2014 graduation will be held May 18th at the Auraria Athletic Fields. The deadline to submit your regalia rental form is on Tuesday, April 1st. Don't let this opportunity to pass to have some extra money in your pocket. For more information, visit msudenver.edu/commencement.
Get your thinking caps on. The SATs have been redesigned. These new tests will require students to understand what they read and write. Longer explanations in previous versions are expected. The test will also ask for work to be shown on math problems. Essays will be optional. There are 8 key changes made to the test. There will be less penalties for wrong answers. The highest score will be lowered back to 1,600. The new test will make its debut in spring 2016.
The Umbrella Corporation was out once again making a cosplay appearance at the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Jesse Salazar shows us how the organization is trying to grab more recognition while having fun while raising money for charities.
The Umbrella Corporation is breaking headlines once again. The cosplay group originally started in 2009 with one man's fantasy and fascination for the Resident Evil game.
Basically started to do it all for charity so that we would have a cause to kind of bring us all together and give us some legitimacy for dressing up as adults.
The corporation dressed up this weekend for the St. Patrick's Day Parade to raise awareness for the organization and to inspire others to join the action for a good cause while just letting loose. The one-man band turned into a team nonprofit organization who now dresses up and plays the roles of these fictional characters to raise money for multiple charities such as Wounded Warrior, Children's Hospital, and the Lone Survivor. They even make dinners for local firefighters. In case of a zombie outbreak here on campus or here in the Mile High City, we'll know who to call. I'm Jesse Salazar for the Met Report.
The All Drugs Minus 2 proposal is a plan to reduce the United States sentencing guidelines by 2 levels for all substances. The proposed changes would lower criminal charges by 2 levels. So far, the concept has gained support publicly and politically. The U.S. Sentencing Commission must submit their proposed amendments to Congress by May 1st. If Congress approves, it becomes effective November 1st.
Citizens in Venezuela are fighting for freedom of press. The Met Report had the opportunity to interview president and editor of one of Venezuela's most popular newspapers.
Freedom of the press in Venezuela is in a critical situation right now because the government has an strategy to have a total hegemony on the press and all the media. So they have done everything. They have attacked the journalists. They have used the justice system against journalists for the newspapers. There is no government advertisement for the newspapers, independent newspapers. And right now, we have an additional problem that we need to buy newsprint. We need approval of the government. They don't censor in terms of of being inside the newspapers. They do these things after the newspaper is published or after the news are delivered. What you get is general self-censorship. What the government do is that they block the web pages they don't like. The police and the military, they attack very heavily people who's taking photographs because they know what they do with that. They put it on the social networks. We have a fight every day to deliver our newspapers.
Vehicles closer to the ground do not stand a chance when it comes to potholes. Denver's recent moisture and freezing temperatures are causing the streets to break apart, creating potholes all over the city. The winter months have not allowed proper patching, and the citizens are paying the price. The city's attorney's office is assessing damage on a case-by-case basis. CDOT wants to remind citizens to report all damage to the state's Office of Risk Management.
Extra moisture from the season has grown Colorado's economy. Locals are preparing for the upcoming summer season. Climate experts recorded this winter as the 6th snowiest winter in over 100 years. Ski resorts and rafting companies could extend their operations after the large amounts of snowfall. Some resorts recorded their 300 inches of snow. Last year, they recorded less than 240 inches. The high totals give skiers hope that the season will never end, but when it does, rafters will get a chance to enjoy it as well.
New reports from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, predict that the U.S. could see El Nino this year. The U.S. could see a warming over the Atlantic Ocean, affecting this hurricane season. Depending on where the warming forms, Colorado could see a wetter summer and winter. Meteorologists say that it's too early to tell exactly where El Nino will form. I'm sorry, but the two words El Nino just scare me.
And you know, in Spanish, it just means the little boy pretty much, but hopefully the hurricane doesn't come across very strong.
I think it'll be okay.
Well, coming up after the break, Anthony Rodriguez joins us for EMET.
But first, Josh Cozart shows us what's in store for this week of spring.
Hey guys, so yesterday was the very first day of spring and we got to enjoy some nice warm temperatures about in the 70s, but today is a different story. We have some changes rolling into the area, and our current temperature downtown, we sit at 43 degrees, and our high for today, we're going to top off at 47, and that's going to hit about 2 o'clock this afternoon there. Temperatures are going to start to drop off, and we're going to see a low of 28 tonight, and we're actually going to see some snow move back into our area. We're expecting about an inch of snow, but since it's been so warm lately, we won't see that snow accumulate. It'll immediately melt off the ground. So let's take a look at our Saturday national map. This cold front is actually making its way through our area today, which is going to create that change that we'll see tonight. But for Saturday, it's going to push off to the south-southeast. We're going to see some precipitation down in the south, and then we have a strong low-pressure system over the Great Lakes region. It's going to be giving them a lot of wintry precipitation. They're not out of winter quite yet up there, so really messy travel if you're headed that way for your spring break. And then for Colorado and most of the west, we have a stationary front that's going to be sitting right over Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. That's going to create some wintry precipitation as that low pressure sits over Salt Lake City. And some of that snow and rain, it's going to drift into Colorado, get really close to Denver. We're going to see spurts on and off all day Saturday with the mixture of snow, a little bit of rain. So no significant accumulation for our Saturday, but we will see some wet, sloppy snow falling. Now let's take a look at Sunday. That cold front, it's going to weaken a little bit, but it's going to continue to push to the south-southeast, and that low-pressure system is going to follow as well. We're going to see rain down in the south, and then we have this line right here where it's going to transition from Missouri to Illinois to Indiana. That rain's going to transition into the wet, sloppy snow, into regular snow for the northern parts of those states. And then for Colorado, we're going to have this high-pressure system that's going to drop in from Canada. It's going to pretty much dry out everything all across the west as this warm front. It's a weak one, but it will be moving in, giving them some drier conditions down in the southwest as well. But for Denver, that's when our clouds are going to move out. Our temperatures are going to raise just a little bit for your Sunday. Let's now take a look at our local map for Saturday. Denver, we're going to see a high of 42. And there's that rain and snow kind of accumulation. Boulder's graphic kind of shows that a little bit better because they'll probably see a little bit more snow than we will here. 42 for their high. DIA just smidge cooler than the downtown area with the high of 41 degrees. And then if you're headed down to Colorado Springs to spend your Saturday, you're going to see highs at 46. Out on the western slope, Grand Junction, warmer than we are actually going to be. They're going to see 54 degrees, but also see those rain showers just like we will. Now let's take a look at Sunday. Denver, we're going to start a small warming trend with a high of 56. DIA, again, just a degree cooler at 55. Boulder, 54. Colorado Springs, those clouds are going to move out, and we're going to see 49 degrees out on the Eastern Plains. Lamar at 54 degrees. And then out to the west of Colorado, Gunnison, you're going to see a few spotty rain showers, maybe a mixture of snow in the higher elevations with a high of 43 degrees. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Monday, we're going to see a high of 44 degrees, and pretty much all this week, we're going to see our partly sunny skies, few clouds rolling in here and there. And then Monday, we're going to start a big warm up at 60 degrees. And then Thursday and Friday, we're going to see temperatures at 59 and 63. Now Friday, since it's still so far out in the forecast, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that temperature bump closer to 70 degrees. So looks like a great spring break for us here in Colorado. And speaking of which, I hope you enjoy and have a very safe spring break. I'm Josh Cozart with the weather segment. Stick around, we have much more right after the break.
Moving, we've got you covered. The Housing and Resource Fair is coming to the Auraria campus from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tuesday, April 29th in the Tivoli Turn Hall. Explore housing options in the Denver metro area and get everything squared away. More than 24 representatives will be on hand to discuss properties and resources. You can find more information at metrostudentmedia.com.
Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down.
Where I bring Hollywood a mile high.
Aligning the Hollywood stars over Denver.
I'm here to bring you the latest juicy gossip from the mile high to the streets of Hollywood.
Give your most handsome look to that camera.
Where I'll be bringing you the latest gossip from Tinseltown all the way up to a mile high.
I didn't get any injuries. I was okay. I was a little dancing, things, you know.
Check us out every Friday live at 12:30 p.m. on The Met Report.
Now joining us for entertainment is Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony, it sounds like it's getting near that time to pick up those controllers.
That's right, Chris. Attention all gamers. GamesRadar.com has finally released its list of the 100 most anticipated games of the year. But why hear all 100 games when you can be given the best? The top 5 coolest games of 2014 coming to consoles near you. At 5, Mario Kart 8 for Wii U. This favorite Nintendo classic with Mario and friends is coming back to action this May. At 4, a new multiplayer game called Evolve. What's cool about this game is you can actually play the monster that tries to take out the other players. Pretty cool. At 3, Destiny, an action-packed first-player game brought to you by the creators of, you guessed it, Call of Duty. At 2, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U players. The game features all the Nintendo characters loved in previous versions, battling in a brand new edition. And last but not least, the most anticipated video game of 2014 is Batman Arkham Knight. The final game in the Batman series is ending in a big way with new comic book villains, Batmobiles, super bad action moves, and unbelievable graphics. PS4 and Xbox players can look forward to this release in October. Well, technology is definitely making some major strides this year, not only for the video games as you saw, but for phone apps as well. New technology available for iPod and Android users makes listening through headphones and walking on campus much safer. If you're anything like me, you've got your headphones, Beats by Dre earbuds, or even Bluetooth wireless headsets keeping you busy and entertained as you walk around the Auraria campus, either from class to class or to the light rail station. But that can distract you from the dangers of the busiest commuter campus in the state. Well, maybe not anymore. Let me introduce you to One Llama, the leading machine learning platform for music and digital media. One Llama has just announced a new app that's designed to make listening to your music in a busy area a little more safe. What this new app will do is it'll constantly listen to background noise, through your phone's microphone, and when it hears something that the user needs to know about, such as a car horn or a siren, it will automatically mute the music and alert the user. At least that's what One Llama is promising. This app will utilize what's called audio-based artificial intelligence, which allows it to analyze the sound it is taking in and know what types are most important for users to hear. The One Llama production team claims that it is able to hear and analyze sounds faster than other techniques, which is obviously critical for what this app aims to accomplish. As far as the sound it hears goes, the application will come with a bank of sounds that it knows are important, such as sirens, screeching tires, and car horns. Users will also be able to add their own sounds to the application. You can imagine why something like this could be incredibly useful for students, especially here on the very busy and crowded Auraria campus. For the Met Report, Anthony Rodriguez. There's no exact release date of One Llama's new application, but it's expected to be available sometime in March. One Llama's new app will be free. Another new release has plans to make it big in the box office this spring. Hunger Games and Twilight, look out. Another new saga called Divergent is taking theaters by storm, and we were lucky enough to get a red carpet exclusive look at this hit flick made for a special must-see.
Oh my gosh, did you see that? You gotta check it out.
I want to see that.
That's so cool. I can't wait.
We have to go and check that out.
Let's see.
Imagine a world where being different is a crime.
They'll find out about you.
We all experienced the thrill of the Hunger Games. Now, a similar adventure is back with impulsive scenes from Divergent.
What is Divergent is they have all the traits of all the factions, and they're sort of the unknown, which is scary in this sort of futuristic world.
The first installment of the trilogy takes place in a dystopian version of Chicago. EntertainMET gets a closer look at the actors' real personalities at the Divergent red carpet premiere with Ben Lloyd Hughes and Christian Metz.
It's hugely exciting, it's daunting, and also it's the first thing I've ever done where really there are so many people who are here to see us and to see the film.
My honest review of the movie, each scene gets you craving for the next one. It follows the novel, and every actor brings some surprising athletic abilities. If you are hungry for a real escape, this action-packed suspense will get your stomach turning.
You have to decide your future, and you decide your faction, and that faction could be a metaphor for a lot of things as a young person growing up, and possibilities are exciting, but also there's a lot at stake, and there's your life and everything that goes with it.
If you got mixed feelings if this movie is for you, it's alright. You just might be Divergent. EntertainMET, Hassan Shah.
Now, I don't like Twilight or Hunger Games, but when me and Erica and Hassan went to go see Divergent, we were actually pleasantly surprised. It was pretty good.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Twilight, but I'm definitely looking forward to watching Divergent, especially because of handsome Theo James.
Well, I want to see Kate Winslet.
That's right.
Well, Josh, you're buying tickets and you're buying popcorn, and we're going this weekend.
Sounds good.
All right.
And coming up next, Myles Potter tells us how our baseball team did last weekend. We'll be right back.
All night long and do it all again so I can find my way back home.
The sun seems to shine a little less since you've been gone.
You were the one I wanted. Don't stray, don't ever go away.
I'll just smile and everyone will wanna go with it. Oh.
Joining us for Met Report Sports is Myles Potter. So tell us, how is the #1 team in the nation doing?
We'll get to those guys in a minute, but first, let's start off with some softball. After a win on Saturday morning versus Regis 9-1, softball would take their 3-game winning streak into Game 2 versus Western New Mexico State. What happens next, you ask? Let's take a look. The game was over before it began. The Roadrunners came out on fire, scoring 4 runs in the first inning, including a double by Mary Tallinger, who went 2 for 2 with 5 RBIs. Her teammate Danny Sandel, she was 3 for 3, and of course, the pitcher, Cassidy Smith, she pitched a gem, only allowing 3 hits, in 5 innings, and didn't allow a walk. She would improve to 6-0 on the season, and Metro wins 12-0. Metro would have 2 more games on Sunday, dropping them both, as the Roadrunners improved to 12-6 on the season and 8-5 in the RMAC. They will travel up north to play Black Hills State this weekend for a 4-game series. Unlike our softball team, our baseball team is currently riding a 4-game losing streak. They look to break that streak against their RMAC rival, New Mexico Highlands. The game started out good for the Roadrunners as they were up 2-0, but the Cowboys would come right back as Jared Middleton rips one up left field, scoring 3 runs. But the Roadrunners would have some fight in them as the game was tied in the bottom of the 4th with this bloop single. But New Mexico Highlands would just come right back and be too much for the Roadrunners as Justin Rodriguez puts up 2 and Roadrunners drop another one 7-6. They had 2 more games on Sunday, losing them both a combined score 9-16. The Roadrunners are 3-11 overall and 2-8 in the RMAC. They are currently on a 6-game losing streak and looking to break that streak today versus Colorado Mines, who's also on a 6-game losing streak. After surviving Game 1 of the NCAA tournament on Saturday versus UC Colorado Springs, the test didn't get any easier as they had to place another RMAC rival, Colorado School of Mines. These 2 teams have faced off before, 2 times this season, Metro winning them both. So what a better time for Mines to beat them, right? Well, the Roadrunners would have something to say about that. Jamal McClurkin from downtown, he would connect. And look at the emotion. You think this is a big game? And then Brandon Jefferson, Harrison Goodrick harasses the Ordigger player, and we're off to the races. BJ finishes with this easy deuce. How about a little more from the RMAC Player of the Year? This one from NBA range. Metro up big 46-33 at halftime. Second half, and it was more of the same as Jefferson would go in the land of trees with this left-handed layup. He would finish with 30 points on the night. But Mines would come right back as Brett Green cuts the lead to 10 with 4 minutes left. Next possession, he does it again. Green finished with a team-high 16 points on the night, but Metro would answer with this nice pass by McClurkin to Will Sinclair, who slams it down. Metro wins a close one, 86-82. 2 nights later, Metro would face off against Midwestern State for a chance to go to the NCAA Division II Elite 8. The last time these 2 teams met was a year ago in the 2nd round of the NCAAs, Metro winning that one 66-60. Would the Mustangs get their revenge? Roadrunners open up the scoring from 3-point land as Nicholas Kay, who had 15 points in the night. But the Mustangs would answer right back as Xander Blackburn had this easy layup. Metro would force 11 first-half turnovers. Now, check out Jamal McClurkin breaking the defender's ankles. Metro would have 15 points off turnovers. Metro up 33-26 going into the locker room. Second half, and it was all Metro. Look at the shoestring pass by Jefferson to Mitch McCarron for the easy layup. Then Metro with another turnover. Kay would have the honors this time and puts it down. Jefferson seals this one for Metro with a deep 3. Metro wins 78-56 and is the regional champs for the 3rd time in a row. They advance to play Tuskegee in the Elite 8.
That's the key to me. That's the key, you know, because you can't punch the clock and get on the floor and, okay, we're going to have chemistry, but then off the floor we're going to be independent. These guys truly like each other. The bond we talked about in our pregame talk being unbreakable, and they've been that way. They've been side by side. They enjoy each other off the floor.
Kevin Hall, Anthony Rodriguez, and I will be traveling to Indiana for those Elite 8 games. So make sure you all follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube to keep you up to date on all 3 of those big games.
Definitely sounding rowdiness for you guys.
Did you notice I said 3 games?
How
that
exciting.
means they're going to win the national championship game.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Met Report. For Chris Gibson, Anthony Rodriguez, Josh Cozart, Myles Potter, I'm Cinthia Maldonado. Have a safe and wonderful spring break.